Bitcoin daily update, focusing on the daily chart on this video. So what do we have in front of us? We have the bearish sentiment, it's shown in the red, obviously, and the bullish slash neutral sentiment in the green. So depending on your narrative, you might, like one over the other. But the point of this video is to show you both sides of the coin always, and you can decide for yourself. That's a TA analyst's job. It's not to tell you what is coming, it's to interpret the news for you. So anybody that argues different on that is just trying to sell you something, probably. Okay, so looking at what we have, right? So the green, sideways channel, just like we had, for the month consolidation here prior, right? So the green channel's just sideways consolidation. So obviously you need to break to the upside of that channel. So right now we're looking at, around 22K. And note that also the green is drawn as much as possible to the candle bodies. The red lines are drawn, the bearish are drawn from the wicks, as you can tell. And so far, obviously the bears are winning very bigly. So let's go ahead and remove the green so it makes it a little bit more clear to see the red channels. So let's see here. And you might wonder, like, what are these? Well, they might be difficult to see, and as I've said time and time again, it helps to invert the chart sometimes. And then you can see, because most people are familiar with more bullish patterns than bearish patterns. So if you invert the chart, then you get the bullish patterns, right? Here's your flagpole, you kind of move down, lower lows, lower highs, and your breakout, right? And then your new flagpole forms. So in the bull market, this is exactly what things do, and vice versa in the bear market, just a little bit harder to spot. Most likely because just people usually give up, right? You just look at the sentiment around crypto now versus last November, right? October, right? So now you got your next one, right? You got your flagpole up. Your same thing, right? Bear flag. In this case, bull flag, right? But if you invert it back to normal, this is a near textbook bear flag, as drawn here. So the odds of this breaking to the downside are simply higher than anything else, right? At best we have a neutral sideways consolidation. More likely than not, this is shaping up, right? We'll see where we go. But let's say we break out of here. Say we go to like 23.6, 24. Yeah, that would increase our odds of moving up. But there's always got a second, a card up their sleeve, right? What could possibly happen bearish if we do something like this? And we say we go to 24K, right? That would get a lot of people excited again. But watch this, that you might just be doing another one of these patterns, right? What is this? I'll tell you what this is in a minute. So if say we do this, then we come back down again, and then we do this, right? That's called a broadening mouth pattern, and that is also bearish, right? So we'd redraw that, right? Those lines, and it would start looking like this, right? So this is also a bearish pattern, and would also likely lead to further downside. It would just prolong us being down here, right? This would take us well into early fall, late summer, looking at August sometime, right? If we did something like that. So let's go ahead and remove all the drawings. Just looking at a naked chart here. At best, we're just consolidating, right? We're in the serpentine price action right now. We don't know what's going to happen. It's really a coin toss, right? Because we're kind of even in the dead center of this channel, and we're really in just really anyone's guess is as good as the next. But just looking at TA, there's probably a little bit higher odds of this breaking back to the downside as of now, because there's really not a big case for the bulls. There are a case for the bears, and then also a neutral, right? Basically the sideways consolidation and the bearish pattern kind of playing out here. As we talked about yesterday, we have a potential of trying to form a bottom with kind of the golden arches going, right? You want to have like a foundation set up, right? 1, then 2, then 3, all around the same line, which we got, right? So there's a potential of at least a temporary bottom trying to form here. Usually, macro bottoms have multiple bites at the apple, and we seem to be getting that. So, maybe bears maybe could get, chopped in the neck for temporarily. But you know, that's neither here nor there. You just look at the charts. That will tell you all you need to know. Stop listening to 47 different places, and just the charts tell you everything. You know, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news, right? So, all right, that is Bitcoin today wrapped up in a nutshell. Let's get to the quote of the day. History is a vast early warning system. That's a great one. Those who fail to learn from past failures are destined to repeat them. No truer words been spoken about crypto, right? You could relate that to anything in your life or every, Earth, right? Earth's history, right? Think of the money, what's going on now, right? Okay, let's get to, speaking of money, let's get to the absolute non-arguable best color on any Lamborghini ever. Highlighter yellow, also known as Verde Scandal in Lamborghini color code. The Aventador Roadster, matching black and chartreuse. I'll call it chartreuse because I'm in America. I don't know if anybody else knows it as that from abroad. Is that still a color in other countries? Anybody watching this far? But this is, that's like pretty badass to me. All right, let's, if you're still watching, we talked about this yesterday a little bit at the end of the video, but looking at the Forex Factory news coming out tomorrow, could be a volatile Friday for crypto, for stocks, because, we have 1, 2, 3 red news things coming out for the US dollar tomorrow. So we will see how that, shakes out. What you want to look for is something dramatically different from the forecast. See the forecast up here? That number, the number that comes out on the actual, which is like starts at 8:30 a.m. These are Eastern times, right? New York Stock Exchange times. So when these numbers come out, if they're relatively similar, not much is going to happen. But like, say, look at this from last month, right? But look at that, we're a negative, and now we're dramatically different, right? So if this ends up being like, flat or negative 0.1, that would cause some serious, probably havoc, at least for the temporary time. We have a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, so it could be quite volatile. And, this is a good tool to add. Just check it every now and again, at least once a week. I mean, you even got news here, the latest news. Look at this, like a few minutes ago. Everything is in play when asked the possibility of out of 100 basis points raise. That, in layman's terms, if you're not familiar with that, that'd be a whole percentage point that the Fed could possibly raise. That would be nuts, right? That's usually like 0.25%, maybe 0.5%. A full percentage point would be something that would shock some people. So we'll see. Everything is in play. That was the response. So we'll see how that goes. Tune in tomorrow to see more on this, or maybe just wait for my next video today. I'll see you real soon.